Polina, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How's
What's
it going?
going on in
Wow,
the
we
world?
looked very official today.
I don't know. Okay, what's going on with inflation? Nobody knows.
What? By the way, somebody said Paulina is awesome. Thank you, friend. Shoppers paid sharply higher prices for a variety of goods in June as inflation is now reported to have soared to 9.1% from a year ago. 9.1% is pretty crazy. Not gonna lie. You know, I can take a lot. I'm like, okay, I'm patient, and now it's 9.1%.
So, there's a couple of pieces that I think are important. The first is that the official numbers, 9.1%, are bogus. There is no way that the actual average American family is experiencing only 9.1% inflation. Everyone within an economy experiences inflation differently. The wealthier you are, the less that inflation actually hurts you. And in many cases, if you have most of your net worth invested in investment assets, you actually benefit from that inflation. Now, if you don't have investments and you simply have all of your money in cash and most of your monthly expenses are in assets or consumption goods that go up in value when high inflation occurs, then you are ravaged by the inflation. That's exactly what we're seeing here. So 9.1%, complete nonsense. But let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say, if it was true, what is going on? Well, when you start to dig into the data, it is a shit show. Gasoline prices are up 60% year over year. Eating food at home is more than 12% more expensive today than it was 12 months ago. But no matter what they say or what they do, they are going to continue to have this problem because you don't have a button in an economy that you can hit and say, inflation, go away. That's not how it works. These are complex machines. There's tons of inputs, and we get the output of high inflation. Now remember, inflation is 9.1%, even though they've been talking tough for 8 months now and saying that they were going to raise interest rates, which they have been doing, and they were going to conduct quantitative tightening, that they were going to destroy demand. Well, the June numbers show they haven't destroyed demand. We're at a 40-year high of inflation. And so one of the key pieces to pay attention to is that inflation is backwards facing, meaning this is what was going on in June. We're already in July. The question becomes, will we see inflation come down or will it stay persistently high? The Federal Reserve is likely to announce interest rate increase in July. 75 basis points is probably the base case. Maybe they'll do 100 to be extra aggressive. No one knows. But right now, inflation in the most developed nation in the world is absolutely out of control, and they better do something about it, or we will see double-digit inflation in the United States of America, which sounds insane, but that's where we're headed. What do you think?
I think so much for the Amazon Prime deals.
What?
There were discounts, but inflation is making everything more expensive. What's the point? Sorry. I'm just saying. Yeah, no, inflation's crazy.
All right, what's going on with the ring?
You said everything, but you didn't leave anything for me to add.
All right, what's going on with the ring?
All right, Ring is crazy too. So you know Ring, which is the maker of internet-connected video doorbells and security cameras, said in its latest transparency report that it turned over a record amount of doorbell footage and other information to U.S. authorities last year. And the craziest thing, according to a Politico investigation, is that Ring shared doorbell footage at least 11 times with U.S. authorities so far in 2022 without the consent of the device's owner. But
Do they have the right to do that?
well, what do you mean?
Is it in the terms and conditions
I don't know.
that they're able to do that? Okay, that'd be one question.
Well,
The
it's
second thing is, were they just sharing it out of the kindness of their heart,
No.
or were they being legally compelled to do it?
So Amazon said it made a good faith determination that there was an imminent danger of death or serious physical injury to a person requiring disclosure of information without delay. So, I mean, you could argue
Tough.
the privacy, argument, but you could also argue the life or death argument. And I feel like if you're the person in that scenario, you're probably like, turn it over, save my life, you know?
It's tough. And also, it becomes more complex with, is it outward facing of the home? It's out looking from, like, let's say the
Fair, yeah.
doorbell.
Or is it in?
Or is it inside the home? I don't know. But there is a very, very tough scenario when you get into the details here, because privacy obviously is important. You need to preserve people's privacy, especially if you want them to trust you and buy your cameras. But there's a strong argument, right? If all of a sudden, use it, and I'm going to make up this example, but let's say that all of a sudden somebody had a heart attack, was laying on the ground, no one was helping them, and Ring was able to, through the camera inside of the home, realize that, call the police, share the video with them, and the police got there and saved that person's life.
Right.
There's many people who would say, wow, it's amazing. But there will still be people who say you should not violate their privacy.
So hold
tough.
on, I have a question. How is the determination being made by like an AI or whatever?
Another good question.
Or is it a person who sees this person's in trouble?
I don't know, but I think that is a key question, is how are they making the determination? What's the framework? Do they share the video, or do they just say, hey, send a cop because they need help? Is it a crime? Is it a health situation?
Right.
There's a lot of nuance in here.
Yeah.
But I think it is very important that they need to protect people's privacy.
Right, but it does say that under emergency disclosure orders, companies can respond with data when a requesting agency doesn't have the time to obtain a court order. And also,
Slippery slope.
I know, but it's a company, you buy its product, you probably haven't read the terms and conditions, which you
Agreed.
should read. And if you're okay with it, and it has the potential to save your life, wow, it's hard. Okay.
Inside the home and outside the home, I think, makes a huge difference here as well. Right. If it's inside the home, for whether you think it should be this way or not, I believe people feel like that is more intimate. You're inside my house, right? You're inside my apartment. You're inside of my dorm room. All of a sudden, if it's outside, again, there's still privacy stuff, but I think people feel differently about it.
Yeah.
All right. What's going on with Nike?
All right. Sports commerce platform Fanatics is entering into a long-term partnership with Nike to manufacture college sports fan apparel. Wow, this is so interesting. And you know why?
What?
You know why it's interesting? Because that photo is of a Georgia Bulldog shirt, and I went there.
Okay. So right now, Nike makes the gear, and now they're going to offload the production of the gear to Fanatics?
I think it's a collaboration. Because,
something's going on here.
So Nike already has, well, let me just tell you really fast. When I went to UGA, when I went to the college bookstore to buy myself like a Georgia shirt, the Nike sponsored, not sponsored, whatever, branded.
Nike products?
The Nike branded products were like $120 for a shirt. I was like,
that's called the bookstore is making a bag.
No, I think it's Nike.
No, well, the Nike, you can go online and you can see the Nike sweatshirt is called, $50. And if the bookstore wants to make money, then they sell for $120 and they make $70.
Yeah. Well, Nike has some of the largest contracts with top college sports programs to outfit their school teams worth millions of dollars. So
did Fanatics give them equity in this deal?
I don't know, but Nike will continue to manufacture apparel and merch for its college team partners, and Fanatics will manufacture fan apparel, replica jerseys, sideline apparel, headwear, and women's fan.
So Nike is giving up some of the.
Yeah, it's very interesting, right?
Yeah, that seems like a something that was not expected.
Do we think that this is like a testing the waters for a potential acquisition for Nike?
No, I think Nike.
I think so.
It's possible.
Well, because
Fanatics is probably too big at this point, and Nike also probably doesn't want to get into all of the different things that Fanatics is doing, including digital trading cards and all that stuff. That seems like a little bit of a break from what Nike has historically done. But maybe they could. Actually, I'll make a different argument. I could see a world where Michael Rubin and Fanatics wants to sell off their apparel business, and so they sell a piece of it. Like they basically chop that up, they sell that, and then they run with the trading cards and all like the software-based stuff.
It's interesting. Fred L. said UGA in the house, class of 2009. I was class of 2013. So we kind of overlapped 1 year, I think. Okay.
Somebody tell her 10, 11, 12, 13.
Wait, what? No.
4 years.
No, we overlapped, me and Fred L.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. If
he graduated in spring of 09.
Yes, and I started
in fall of 09.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Is that how? Yeah.
Ladies and
that's how it
gentlemen, that was a live demonstration of many conversations that we have among ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
You want to say I'm right?
No.
No? Okay. All right. What's going on with the inflection points? I know about that
Oh,
one.
inflection points. So.
You should read a little bit of it.
No. So there's this business called Inflection Points that's been working in stealth mode to build out a crypto-focused employment and
By the
corporate
way,
training business.
I'm not a fan of the headlines like this, but for the last 18 months or so, we've been building a business.
But the article's very good.
Quietly, yeah. Jacqueline did a great job with this one. And today, not only did we announce the business in terms of what it does, but also we announced a fundraise, an acquisition, a whole bunch of different stuff. There's a saying, real G's move in silence like lasagna. You know that? Do you know that? Do you know that rap lyric? You don't know that. That's why. That's right. You don't know that because you are not cultured. But the whole key to this is real G's.
Real savages.
Real G's move in silence like lasagna.
Listen to my rap. Real savages move in silence like islands. Ooh.
No.
Yes, it even rhymes.
But it's not about rhyming. Do you understand that G is silent? No, the G is silent in lasagna.
But do you understand that the S is silent in
Oh my God.
islands?
All right, listen. I love you.
Oh my God.
Inflection points. Basically, the whole point of this business is there is a massive problem. We talk about it almost every single day on this show. Global debt to GDP is out of hand. It's like 400% globally. In the United States, like 130%. And there's two potential solutions. If you think of it from a first principle standpoint, one solution is to create non-debt based money. That is what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is money that is not based on debt. And so Bitcoin is addressing the debt side of that equation. It is saying we do not need all this debt, and now we have a currency that will allow us to pursue that solution. The second potential solution to global debt to GDP coming down is to drastically accelerate the growth of the gross domestic product of GDP. So if you can significantly increase growth, you potentially could outgrow how much debt they're taking on. Now, at the end of the day, it's unlikely to be an either or. It's a both scenario. Bitcoin is perfect solution for non-debt based money. What we are trying to do is we are trying to go and help accelerate economic growth globally. The way that we are doing that to start is we are taking as much as we possibly can and putting our energy and resources behind helping the best talent get into companies in the Bitcoin and crypto industry. Now, why is that important? Because at the end of the day, companies are made up of people. If we get the best people from all industries in the world to work in this industry of Bitcoin and crypto, that will accelerate the growth. That means we will build better businesses, more economic opportunities, and therefore GDP will have an inflection point. Get the name? Now, a huge piece of that is having multiple products. And so the first thing that we built was a job marketplace. You can go, you can apply for a job there, and companies list their opportunities. It's like a marketplace that allows people to find jobs. The second thing is training, which is either people who want to get a job but feel like they don't actually understand the industry, the terminology, how it works. We train them, and then we hand them off to HR teams, help them get a job there. Or we go into corporations, both crypto native firms and non-crypto native firms, and we train their employees on the latest technologies, latest trends, latest information to make sure they are armed to actually produce good products and services. And then lastly is we bought a business called Proof of Talent. They're the #1 crypto native recruiting firm. Rob Paone and Colton Kirkpatrick and that entire team, they're joining us. They have joined us. They are continuing to do exactly what they've been doing. They've placed over 100 people at 40 companies. Inflection Points, over 1,000 people now have gotten a job. We've trained thousands more, and so far so good. It's a profitable business. We will do the best that we can. Raised $12.6 million from a group of great investors, everyone from Teal Capital, Fit Down Capital, Blockchain, XYZ, just a whole bunch of great people in there that we're very excited about. And that's pretty much it. If you want to learn more, go to Inflection Points with an S, inflectionpoints.co, and you can apply for jobs there. If you want your company to get any sort of training, you can go and let us know there. We can have somebody contact you. or if you need help filling kind of hard to place roles at your business, you also can learn about the recruiting services there as well.
That's great. Good job. I'm proud of you.
Great, thank you. I appreciate it.
Moves like
I knew you were going to say that, and
an
you're
S
still
like
thinking.
a savage
No, you're still thinking about
with the silent.
you
Savages
comparing
move in silence.
any lyrical talent to Lil Wayne.
I am better than Lil Wayne.
Let's
Have you
go
heard of
to the
Lil
top
P?
business states.
You have not met Lil P. Okay. So speaking of jobs and businesses, CNBC came out with its top states for business in 2022, and it scored all 50 states on 88 metrics in 10 broad categories of competitiveness, including workforce, infrastructure, cost of doing business, economy, life, health and inclusion, technology and innovation, business friendliness. You are currently not paying attention to Lil P, but if you were, what would you guess the top 5 most
Business-friendly states
are?
Florida, Texas.
Wrong.
Florida and Texas?
Florida is not even in the top 5. Not even in the top 10.
Who made this list?
Ready?
Who created this list?
CNBC.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, ready? North Carolina is number 1.
I'm
Washington.
from North Carolina. We'll see.
Washington is number 2.
Where?
Washington,
The state?
The state.
Okay.
3 is Virginia. 4 is Colorado. Where did they find it? 5 is Texas. 6 is Tennessee. 7 is Nebraska. 8 is Utah. 9 is Minnesota. And 10 is Georgia. Woo, 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 woo. And 11 is Florida. Ha! Georgia beat Florida in all sorts of life. Okay, that's all.
You're trying to tell me that more people want to move to Nebraska to start their business than to Florida?
Well, now we're talking, cost of doing business, life, health, and inclusion, liberty for all.
Nebraska?
There's a lot of liberty there.
I would bet
What?
10 to 20% of Americans couldn't point Nebraska out on a map.
It's that like squarish one up there. Is it next to Washington?
I literally bet if you walked out on the street, 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10 people could not, if you showed them a map without the states
more
labeled.
than 2 to 10. They have no idea where Nebraska is.
All right.
I kind of forgot about that one
All
until
right.
just now.
I appreciate you. People are saying he's not wrong.
About what?
Exactly, I'm not wrong. I appreciate you coming on today.
I appreciate
we
you.
will have to listen to Lil Wayne so that you understand a little
It's
bit.
not
more.
little.
No,
Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Put
it's
some
all right.
respect
That's
on
the first.
his-
I think I've told a story before. That's the first time I ever skipped school in high school. I skipped school. I was a sophomore, I think. Carter 2 came out. Went and grabbed that, and then we drove back to the parking lot of our high school, and we sat there and we just bumped Lil Wayne Carter 2, one of the greatest albums of all time.
We're not going to get into why I skipped school because we all know that story. Okay. Bye, friends.
To read a book like a nerd.